Good evening and welcome in to Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium inside the Griffin Athletic Complex on the campus of Francis Marion University here in Florence, South Carolina. A perfect evening for baseball as Francis Marion hosts Lander University, a three-game Peach Belt Conference series that'll be critical for both teams. The Patriots 18-9 overall, 9-6 in Peach Belt Conference play, tied for third with Flagler in the standings heading into the weekend, while Lander is struggling as of late. They are 9-18 overall, 5-7 in the conference, eighth place in the standing, clinging to the last spot in the standings that would earn them a tournament berth as the top 8 teams make it to St. Augustine for the Peach Belt Conference baseball tournament in early May. Patriots coming off of a 3-2 road trip, picked up non-conference road wins at Limestone and at Claflin, and dropped 2 out of 3 last weekend in the PBC series at Young Harris. We'll get to the starting lineups. Now first for Lander, coached by Jason Burke. Leading off is the second baseman, Bailey Connell. Shortstop and batting second, Vincent Odona. The DH will bat third, Mike Fitzgen. Cleaning up is the first baseman, Nathan Schreckengost. At third base and batting fifth, Colton Gager. In left field, Rory Glanton. He bats sixth. Catching and batting seventh, Zach Moore. In right field and batting eighth, Carson Jones. And the center fielder, Josh Gregory, will hit ninth, with right-hander Alex Moore on the mound this evening for the Bearcats, a 6'3 senior out of Sarasota, Florida. For Francis Marion, leading off is the left fielder, Will Hardy. In right field and batting second, Cole Hinnant. Batting third and playing center field, Gage Taylor. Cleaning up, the first baseman, Nick Pappas. The designated hitter will bat fifth, Leniel Gonzalez. Catching and batting sixth, Alex Griffith. At shortstop and batting seventh, C.J. Mackinson. Second baseman, Grayson Cottingham, will hit eighth, and batting ninth is the third baseman, Fred Wadsworth, with senior right-hander Evan Flynn on the hill today for the Patriots. FMU running out onto the field today with the Caldwell Banker Bruins U11 team. Patriots pulling out the home whites for today's contest. Lander in their blues with the road gray pants. Patriots have won 3 of 5 Peach Belt Conference series so far, while Lander has lost 3 out of 4. They started it off with a sweep of UNC Pembroke last month, but they have dropped their last 3 PBC series, including dropping 2 out of 3 to Columbus State last weekend. First pitch is just a few moments away, but first, let's take a brief pause for the national anthem. So game 1 of this 3-game Peach Belt Conference series between the Patriots and the Bearcats just moments away. On the hill for FMU tonight, 5'10 senior right-hander Evan Flynn from Lancaster, South Carolina, a transfer from USC Lancaster. Led FMU in innings pitched last year with 67. This year, he enters with a 4-0 record, a 3.82 ERA. This will be his 8th start. He's allowed 34 hits in 37 2/3 innings, 21 runs, 16 of them earned, 18 walks to 35 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .243 against Flint. His defense behind him tonight in the outfield from left to right, Will Hardy, Gage Taylor, and Cole Hinnett. On the infield at third base, it's Fred Wadsworth, C.J. Mackinson at short, Grayson Cottingham at second, Nick Pappas at first, and Flint's battery mate tonight is senior catcher Alex Griffith. Patriots last season against Lander got swept in Greenwood. They have already taken 2 series that were sweeps last year and turned them into series victories. Last season, they were swept at Flagler College and Georgia College. This season, here in Florence, they took 2 out of 3 from both of those teams, so they'll be looking to, at a minimum, do that and maybe even return the sweep favor against Lander this weekend. It's a Lander team that has been scuffling as of late. They enter today having lost 11 of their last 12, which includes a 9-game losing streak in there. And that is since they opened up conference season with a sweep of UNC Pembroke. So the Bearcats looking to pick up their second Peach Belt Conference Series victory of the season, while the Patriots are looking to make it 4 PBC Series wins in 6 so far this season. As I mentioned off the top, tied for third with Flagler in the Peach Belt Conference standings. USC, Aiken, and Columbus State occupy spots 1 and 2. Young Harris in 5th, North Georgia 6th, Georgia College 7th, and then Lander in 8th. Those would be the 8 teams to make the Peach Belt Conference tournament if the standings were not to change in the next month and change, and I'm sure that will not be the case. Plenty more games to come. Bailey Connell will get things started for Lander. Flynn into the wind, his first pitch of the day at 6:02, runs a little bit inside. And we're underway on a picture-perfect evening for baseball here on Cornwell Field at Sparrow Stadium inside the Griffin Athletic Complex. Connell hitting .278 on the season, 3 homers, 10 runs batted in as Flynn misses in tight once again. This Lander team hitting .248 collectively, and they're last in the conference in runs per game at 5.4. They have struck out a lot, and pitching-wise, they have struck out many. So Lander games generally feature a lot of strikeouts, both on the pitching side for them and when their offense is up. 3-0, Flynn gets the strike from tonight's home plate umpire T.R. Sloan. Mike Stone on the bases. This 2-man crew will do the entirety of this 3-game set. Middle match tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and then the finale Sunday afternoon at 1. Bouncer over to third. Wadsworth knocks it down, fires it over to Pappas in plenty of time, and Connell is retired to get things started for Evan Flynn in the top of the first. Last time out for Flynn at Young Harris last Saturday, and a 10-4 Patriot victory. He gave up 3 runs on 6 hits over 5 innings. Walked a season-high 5, struck out 1. Patriots won that game 10-4. That was the lone victory on the weekend for FMU as they then lost the doubleheader to Young Harris on Sunday afternoon to wrap up that series in Georgia. As the shortstop, Vincent Adona, digs in, hitting a .191 so far for the season. Adona, senior out of Cary, North Carolina, transferred from the College of Central Florida. Tips it into the mitt of Alex Griffith. Ball and a strike. Coach Burke alternates right, left to the top 4 spots in the order, then a slew of righties before his 9-hole hitter Josh Gregory will swing from the left side. The sometimes side-arming right-hander Flynn delivers a breaking ball that misses up. Flynn had a no decision in his start in Greenwood against these Bearcats last year. Worked 6 2/3. He falls behind now, Adona 3-1. Gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, 1 of which was earned, walked 1, and came 1 shy of his season high in strikeouts, fanning 7 that day. Earned a no decision. The Patriots ended up losing that contest in extra innings. Flynn's 3-1. Is ball 4. And so the first base runner of the evening comes in the form of Vincent Adona, with one out here in the top of the first. And the designated hitter, Mike Fitzgen, digs in. 309 average. Tied for the team lead with 7 doubles. He has homered 3 times and driven in 14. Flynn works from the first base side of the rubber. Pappas holding with the runner over at first. Adona's stolen 2 bases in 4 tries. When the first pitch strike. Patriots have done very well with Flynn on the mound. They have won 6 of his previous 7 starts, and as I mentioned, his record at the start of play today, 4-0. Junior left-hander Josh Bobrowski scheduled to pitch tomorrow, and then senior Isaac Rogers slated to get the ball for FMU on Sunday afternoon. Flynn misses low with his breaking pitch. Ball and a strike on Fitzgen. FMU enters the weekend with the best ERA in the Peach Belt at 3.69. And Lander is the only team that has struck out more batters than this Patriots staff. 242 strikeouts. Just under a strikeout per inning as a staff through 27 games. 1-1. Blown out into left center field. Hardy and Taylor both going after it. It'll be the center fielder Taylor to make the play. Fitzgen is the second out. Adona retreats, and it'll be up to the cleanup hitting first baseman Nathan Schreckengast. Opponents hitting .252 against the Patriots staff, who has done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark this season. 10 home runs allowed, second fewest in the conference. Well, on the other side, Lander has hit 27 homers, tied for the second most in the conference. Schreckengast with 2 of those. And a team high 18 runs batted in, .298 average for the lefty swinging first baseman. Flynn just missed a little bit there. Schreckengast, junior out of Winter Garden, Florida. Schreckengast was 1 for 4 against Flynn last year when these two teams met in Greenwood. And he fouls this one back. Ball and a strike. Patriots struck out 15 Wednesday at Claflin. Second time this season they have fanned 15 or more. The other time was also against the Panthers. Fanned 16 of them back in the opening weekend of the season in a Claflin win here in Florence. Adona edging off. Pappas again holding with the runner. Flynn deals. Just missed the outside corner. Gage Taylor out in center field. Couple of steps shaded toward right center, just to that side of second base. Flynn trying to strand a 1-out walk here in the top of the opening inning. Deals. Swing and a miss. Might have gotten Schreckengast to expand the strike zone there. Flynn coming into today's action has fanned 35 and 37 2/3 innings, so a little bit shy of a strikeout per inning. And they're looking for their first win away from Greenwood this season. They're 0-4 in road games and 0-3 in neutral site games. All 9 of their wins have come at home. 9-11 at home, 9-18 overall. 2-2, and it hit him. And so the Bearcats now will have 2 on with 2 outs for the third baseman, Colton Yeager. 2 on without the benefit of a hit so far for Lander. A walk and a hit better. Yeager hitting .267. He is the only Bearcat who has started now all 28 games this season. He has an opportunity to give Lander an early lead with a 2-out hit. And one drifts inside again from Flynn. Yeager hitting .267. Just a pair of extra base hits, both of those doubles. He's driven in 14. A little bit low from Flynn. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeager Jr. out of Jacksonville, Florida. And now Patriot head coach Art Nabonet comes out of the first base dugout, and he'll have a chat here with his senior battery of Evan Flynn and Alex Griffith before Flynn can deliver a 2-0 pitch to Colton Yeager. Patriots 12-6 at home this season. Done a good job of protecting the home field. They've won 2 of the 3 conference series they've played here, with the lone series loss to first place USC Aiken. They have series wins here over Flagler and Georgia College so far. 2-0. Tipped it into the glove of Griffith for a strike. Both the FMU baseball and softball teams with heavy home schedules in the first part of the season. They will spend much of the rest of the season on the road, especially after this week and this weekend. So it's grounded sharply to the right side. Grayson Cottingham has it. He'll flip to Mackinson for the force at second. And Flynn is able to get out of his self-imposed jam. He strands the walk and the hit batter. We go to the bottom of the first. FMU coming up for the first time against Alex Moore after this short timeout on the Patriot Sports Network. Francis Marion getting ready to face right-hander Alex Moore, 6'3", 207, a senior out of Sarasota, Florida, in his second season after transferring to Lander from Eckerd College. Coming off of a start at Columbus Stadium, which he earned a no decision, he'll be facing this Patriot lineup. Leading off is the left fielder Will Hardy. It's right field and batting second is Cole Hinnant. Center fielder Gage Taylor will swing third. First baseman Nick Pappas cleaning up tonight for the Patriots. DH Lenny Gonzalez hitting in the 5 spot. Catching is Alex Griffith. He'll hit 6th. And the bottom third of the order tonight for FMU, shortstop C.J. Mackinson, second baseman Grayson Cottingham, and third baseman Fred Wadsworth. For the season, Moore, 7 starts, 4.42 ERA, 3-2 record, 34 hits allowed in 36 2/3 innings, 21 runs, 18 of them earned, 45 strikeouts to 18 walks. Opponents hitting .241. Against Moore, Will Hardy, the 2-time reigning Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Week, will get things started. Florence native, a graduate of South Florence High School, hitting .381 for the season. sixth best in the Peach Belt Conference entering the weekend. Takes one that's fired in the dirt by Moore for ball one. 21 runs batted in for Hardy this season. Takes it outside for ball two. Hardy also in the top part of the conference in on-base percentage at .431. Patriots have quite a few different players in that leadoff spot. Hardy, the most recent to get an opportunity, and has continued to hit well. He is riding an 11-game hitting streak entering the weekend as he fouls that one straight back to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hardy, Hinnant, Taylor, left, right, left for the Patriots here in the opening inning. Against Moore, who got a win in relief against the Patriots in that 3-game series last year in Greenwood. Takes one low and in to run the count full. A nice article on Hardy in the Florence Morning News this week. He has been a huge help to this Patriot offense that has been at or near the top of the conference for a lot of the season in many statistical categories. Flies this one down the left field line, and it's caught by Glanton, the left fielder, for the first out. Checking the rest of the Bearcat defense, there was Rory Glanton, the left fielder, made that play, and center field, Josh Gregory, right fielder Carson Jones. On the infield, Colton Yeager at third, Vincent Adona at short. His double play partner, Bailey Connell at second, Nathan Schreckengost at first, and an all-Moore battery. Alex Moore on the hill, and Zach Moore behind the plate. Here's Cole Hinnant. .386 average coming into play today. Had a good rip. Came up empty. He was the only Patriot to have faced Lander back in 2016. So when Mrs. Lowe, he was a freshman that season. The two teams did not meet in 2017. And the 3-game sweep last year, Hinnant was 1 for 9 in that series as a freshman. Also has pitched against Lander and drives this one deep down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is foul. Just a long strike on Hinnant, who has launched 3 home runs so far this season, 5th in the conference with 28 runs batted in. So Hinnant, the native of Clayton, North Carolina, heads back to the box. Had an 11-game hitting streak earlier on in the season, tied with Hardy for the longest by a Patriot this year. Moore deals, and Hinnant comes up empty for a strikeout for Moore. First 2 Patriots are gone here in the bottom of the first. Lander with a .556 team ERA, 9th out of the 11 teams in the Peach Belt. And they have issued the most walks, but also struck out the most batters as a staff this season. 9.8 Ks per 9 as a staff. Gage Taylor with 2 outs. Senior center fielder takes a strike. Gage was leading the conference in RBIs for a while. Still up among the leaders. 31 runs batted in for Gage this season. 4th most in the conference. And he ropes this one out into right center field. Could be extra bases for Taylor. And it's going to get all the way to the wall. He might try for 3. Relay throw from the outfield is going to be late as Taylor dives in head first with a 2-out triple. Off the bat, it looked like either the center fielder Gregory or the right fielder Jones was going to get to cut it off before it got up the gap. But neither one of them could get there before it got to the wall. And so Taylor is standing on third with a triple. Patriots with now 6 triples on the season. Taylor the first to have multiple. Now Nick Pappas with 2 down. Chance for a 2-out run for the Patriots after Lander was unable to convert its opportunity in the top of this inning. They had 2 on with 2 outs. after a hit batter and a walk. But Flynn got out of trouble. Pappas takes one wide here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Correction on Taylor. That's his first triple of the season. So he becomes the 6th different Patriot to triple. Pappas hitting .313. Ropes this one into right field. That one's going to get down, and Taylor will score. 1-0 Francis Marion as Nick Pappas comes through with his 24th RBI of the season. Patriots 8.5 runs a game to lead the Peach Belt Conference. And that's number 231 in terms of runs scored this season. Also first in the Peach Belt. They, in addition to those categories, also top the PBC in doubles and walks drawn. As Lenny Gonzalez digs in, takes one low. FMU has already also tied a Peach Belt Conference single season record with 6 grand slams. Gonzalez takes one a little bit elevated. He has one of those 6 grand slams. Grayson Cottingham has one, and then 2 apiece for Gage Taylor and Alex Griffith. Griffith lurking on deck should Gonzalez reach to extend this first inning. Morse 2-0. Flown high out into right, coming in and toward right center. A couple of steps to make the grab is Jones. And the Patriots are out in the last of the first, but a couple of 2-out hits produce a run. And it's 1-0 FMU after 1 on the Patriot Sports Network. One nothing FMU, top of the second. 6, 7, 8 coming up for the Bearcats against Evan Flynn, Rory Glanton, Zach Moore, Carson Jones, that trio. Glanton, a junior out of Carrollton, Georgia, hitting .226 so far this season. Flynn working out of trouble in the opening inning. He walked one and hit a batter. Was able to get out of it unscathed, and then his teammates picked up a run for him in the bottom of the first. A couple of 2-out hits, a Taylor triple, and a Pappas single to give FMU the first run of the series. Flynn's 1-0 on the way. And he falls behind again, 2 balls and no strikes. There's a strike from Flynn. Threw 22 pitches to get through that opening inning. Works over on the first base side of the rubber. The 2-1 pitch is hopped off the plate and back up the middle. That one's going to find center field. Grayson Cottingham was in pursuit, but unable to backhand it. It was out of his reach. And the first hit of the game for Lander comes off the bat of Rory Glanton. And they have the leadoff runner on for the first time today, bringing up the catcher, Zach Moore. Moore is hitting .151 this season. But he had a big hit against Francis Marion last year, had the walk-off pinch hit single in the bottom of the 10th inning, the middle game of that series, to give Lander the 4-3 victory in that game. And as I mentioned earlier, they went on to sweep that series. It's fouled away. So FMU looking to exact some measure of revenge for last season. As I mentioned earlier, they've already turned 2 sweeps from last season into series victories this time around. Good breaking ball there from Flynn for a called strike. 0-2 on the right-handed hitting catcher, Zach Moore. Over at first base, Glanton has only attempted to steal once, and he was caught. Not a very big lead. That one's popped back out of play. Clangs off of the bleachers. Still 0-2 on Zach Moore. Patriots moderate depth in the outfield. A couple weekends ago, Georgia College was in town, and they had their outfielders play the deepest of any outfielders I've ever seen, at least on a consistent basis at the college level. That one just missed a little high. Their corner outfielders would stand almost on the warning track, and their center fielder was probably, it's 400 to straightaway center, so maybe 360 or so feet away from home plate out in center. Seemed unnecessarily deep. 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes, but Georgia College consistently has been a good program in the Peach Belt. So who am I to question what the Bobcats are doing defensively? 2 balls and 2 strikes on Moore at the plate. Flynn comes set right around the belt. Kicks and delivers right back up the middle. That one's going to find the outfield grass as well. Glanton will stop at second. And back-to-back singles right back up the middle have Lander in business here. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the second as they look to respond right away to Francis Marion's first inning run. Other series around the conference this weekend: Augusta at North Georgia, USC Aiken at Columbus State in a battle between the first and second place teams in the conference. Georgia College at UNC Pembroke, Young Harris down in Florida at Flagler, and Georgia Southwestern, the lucky team that will not play a Peach Belt Conference series this weekend. They will entertain Lenore-Ryan. Inside on the right fielder, Carson Jones. Jones had the 1 home run for Lander in last year's series, went 3 for 11 in that set. Scored 4 times. Inside again as Flynn continues to fall behind here in this first time through the Lander order. Not necessarily something he has done a lot this season, although, as I mentioned earlier, he did walk 5 Mountain Lions last weekend in his start at Young Harris, but managed to make it through 5 innings and get a victory. His 4th of the season. There's a swing and a miss. Only once have the Patriots lost a start with Flynn on the mound this season. That was against USC Aiken. Another swing and a miss by Jones. But Flynn did not factor into the decision that evening. It was the bullpens that ended up deciding that contest between the Patriots and the Pacers that night. Flynn has been the Friday night starter, although it was Saturday last weekend with the rain pushing that series to Saturday and then Sunday doubleheader rather than a 3-game, 3-day series, as this one is slated to be. And at least at the last check of the weather, it looks like Mother Nature is going to cooperate to allow it to be 3 days of single games. this weekend here in Florence. Hopefully we get a repeat of this weather we have tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled away. Jones hitting .213, 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. Lander team does have a lot of power, leading the conference in home run, or tied for second, I should say, in the conference in home runs with 27. Another 3-2, all 4, and now the bases are loaded. Still nobody out here in the Lander second. And the 9-hitter, center fielder Josh Gregory, will come to the plate. So single walk. Flynn's second walk so far. Here on the top of the second. Lander with a great opportunity to dent the scoreboard for the first time this evening. As Gregory, a .268 hitter, digs in from the left side. Glanton at third, Moore at second, Jones at first. Flynn will go from the wind. Misses upstairs. Gregory, a sophomore out of Gaffney, South Carolina. Transfer from Florence Darlington Tech. Patriots with a few former Stingers on their roster as well, including the second baseman Grayson Cottingham. Outside from Flynn, action in the Francis Marion bullpen down the right field line. And Alex Griffith will come out to the mound to have a chat with Flynn. Can't quite tell who it is that is warming up in the Patriots bullpen. Whoever it is still has their jacket on. But they are quickly getting ready with one of the Patriot reserve catchers, Tristan Freeman. 2-0 on Gregory as Griffith picks his way back behind the plate. Flynn deals. Driven high in the air into right field. Hinnant started in. Now he'll drift back and a little bit toward right center, settling under it. Makes the catch. All 3 of the runners tag. The runner at first stops halfway and retreats, but this will be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Gregory. As Glanton scores, Zach Moore advances 90 feet as well. He gets to third. And it's 1-1 here in the top of the second. And Lander will have runners on the corners with 1 out as the lineup turns back over to the top with the second baseman, Bailey Connell. So Josh Gregory picks up his 11th RBI of the season. And now Connell is 0 for 1 with a ground ball. Digs in for the second time. 0 for 3 against Flynn now in the 2 games between this year and last. Including 1 strikeout. Runner takes off from first, but it's bounced foul just past the Lander dugout on the third base side. So Gregory will have to retreat. Or rather, that's Carson Jones over there at first. Jones 3 for 3 stealing bases so far this season. Lander 21 out of 29 as a club. Pick off to first. Runner back in safely. Alex Griffith has thrown out 7 of 24 attempted base stealers so far this season. No sign of trying to go that particular time for Jones. Ball and a strike on the batter, Bailey Connell. Shout out to Associate Athletic Director for Communication Services. Did I get that correct? Michael Hawkins for that tip on Griffith. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Pinch hitting for me on the stats today so I can do the broadcast. Appreciate that. Or the webcast, whatever you want to call it. Two and one on Connell at the plate. Aim inside. And Flynn hit him. And that'll reload the bases. I think the Patriot dugout was arguing that it hit the bat and not Connell. The umpire gestured that it hit him on the arm. It's a second hit batter for Flynn here in the opening couple of innings. The righty threw 22 pitches in the first. He's already had 24 more here in the second and only gotten one out. Now the umpires are going to get together to talk about it after Arden Abbott came out to ask umpire T.R. Sloan to get help from base umpire Mike Stone, but the call stays as a hit by pitch. And so the Bearcats have Moore at third, Jones at second, and Connell at first with one out for Vincent Odona, the shortstop, who walked his first time. And they're already with one run in the inning on the sacrifice fly, looking for more and the lead. Upstairs on Odona.
Press box. No problem.
Flynn deals a 1-0. Cut on a miss by Odona. Odona last year was handled by Flynn, went 0 for 4. Did reach on an error in one appearance against him. But this is a guy that Flynn handled last year, including striking him out once. Evan just misses a little bit off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike. His next pitch will be his 50th of the evening. He works here in the second, so even if he does get out of this, only allowing the 1 run, he may not be long for this ball game. Here's the 2-1. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes as a handful of members of the FMU softball team stroll in. Winners of 2 yesterday over Barton College. 3 out of 4 in their 2 midweek non-conference doubleheaders. Split with Belmont Abbey on Wednesday and then the sweep over Barton yesterday. 2-2. Fouled straight back. Now whoever was warming up in the Patriot bullpen has taken the jacket off. Warren Specht. Senior right-hander heating up for the Patriots. Flynn's 2-2. Fouled straight back again by Odona. Flynn has gotten through at least 5 innings in every start for FMU this season. Every start between 5 and 6 innings. He's been remarkably consistent. But misses well off the plate outside here, full count. And as I mentioned, with that pitch count already in the 50s, whether he rebounds this inning or not, he may not get to that 5 innings that he has reached at a minimum in each of his previous 7 starts. The payoff pitch on the way, and he walks in a run. Odona walks for the second time, and this time we'll pick up an RBI for it as Zach Moore touches home. Everyone else moves up a station. It's walk number 3 issued by Flynn. And having it back out of the Patriot dugout. And he has made the signal. So Evan Flynn, shortest outing of the season thus far, as he lasts just an inning and a third. Warren Specht coming on for FMU here with the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the second. While we have a moment, Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank the following sponsors: Adidas, Circle Park Behavioral Health Services, Domino's, McLeod Regional Medical Center, Carolina's Hospital System, Ken Jackson and Remax Professionals, Pepsi, McDonald's, Rains Hospitality, including Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suites, and Courtyard by Marriott, Mike Rickenbach, Ford Lincoln Mercury, South Carolina Education Lottery, King Cadillac Buick GMC, McLeod Sports Medicine, the Counseling Center of Florence, Chick-fil-A, State Farm and H&M Stewart, Quincy's Steakhouse, Little Caesars, La Quinta Inn and Suites, KFC, Arby's, Julia Bell's Restaurant, PD Electric Cooperative, Sparrow and Kennedy Tractor Supply, Western Sizzlin Steakhouse, State Credit Union, and Zaxby's. So it'll be the former men's basketball player at FMU, senior right-hander Warren Speck, to take over here for the Patriots. It comes into a big spot. Bases loaded with one out here in the top of the second, and FMU now down 2-1 after Flynn's walk with the bases loaded. Warren, 4.15 ERA on the season, 101 record through 9 appearances. In 8 2/3 innings, he's given up 10 hits, 7 runs, 4 of which have been earned, 4 walks, a dozen strikeouts, and opponents hitting .286. Against the senior right-hander out of Shawnee, Kansas. So the final line will not yet be complete on Flynn. He went an inning in the third, gave up 2 hits, walked 3, hit a couple of batters, did not record a strikeout. So far has given up 2 runs, but is responsible for all 3 runners on the base paths. For Lander, they have Carson Jones at third, Bailey Connell at second, Vincent Adona at first, and the designated hitter Mike Fitzgin digging in 0 for 1 with a fly ball his first time up tonight. Six points per game and 3.5 rebounds per game for Speck last year against Lander. And now trying to come up with a couple of big outs to keep the Patriots within a run here early in the opener of this Peach Belt Conference Series. He spiked the first one, but blocked by Griffith to keep it in front. In his first season on the baseball diamond for FMU. 1-0 pitch. A little bit off of the outside corner, apparently. Draws the ire of the Patriot dugout. And home plate umpire T.R. Sloan there. That non-call. 2 balls and no strikes on Fitzgin. Tied for third on the team with 14 runs batted in, as now Specht is behind 3-0. Team leader in RBIs, Schreckengost on deck for Lander. Just 2 hits. For Lander, 3 walks, 2 hit batters, 3-0. Specht gets the strike. Make it 3-1. Does have 12 strikeouts, as I mentioned. More than a strikeout per inning. You could really use one here, or a well-placed ground ball. Maybe a roller to C.J. Mackinson to start a double play. 3-1. All 4 as back-to-back bases loaded walks by a couple of different FMU righties. That's now 3 straight Bearcats that have reached without the benefit of a hit. The hits were back-to-back singles at the start of the inning, then a walk to load the bases. Gregory then got the scoring started with a sacrifice fly, and then the next 3 have been a hit batter to reload the bases, and then back-to-back bases loaded walks as Schreckengost digs in from the left side, lines it into right field, just over the glove of Nick Pappas. That's going to get at least 1 run in. Cole Hinnett's throw to the plate. Griffith's tag missed him. A good slide to the back part of the base by Adona. Just eludes the outstretched mitt of Alex Griffith. It was a good throw from Cole Hinnett from right field. But it's a 5-run inning for Lander as Schreckengost collects RBIs number 19 and 20 to make it 5-1. Just over the outstretched glove of Nick Pappas at first base. And now Lander with 5 runs on just 3 hits. Here's Yeager. That one goes right through the wickets of Griffith, and both runners will move up on the wild pitch from Specht. Well, for a Lander team that had been struggling overall and especially offensively coming into play today, the extra bases given by the walks and the hit batters. Just what they needed to get going, apparently. Specs 1-0. Another one that misses low. Also no strikes on Yeager. Bounced into a fielder's choice to end the Lander first inning threat. We have more action in the Patriot bullpen. Lefty Weston Rogers, I believe. Blown out into shallow right. Cole Hinnant charging in. Can't quite get there. Coming to the plate and sliding in safely is Fitchin. Hinnant was charging hard and looked like he was going to get there, but just couldn't quite do so. And neither of the infielders could get back out. And it's a bloop single and an RBI for Colton Yeager. Make it 6-1 Lander. And Glanton, who started the inning with a single back up the middle, is back up again. Glanton leading Lander in homers with 7. As Speck deals, hits the inside corner. Third most homers in the Peach Belt Conference, Rory Glenn, with those 7. Second on Lander with 16 runs batted in. Scored for the 12th time this season earlier in this inning. A 6-run frame. Still just 1 out. Strike 1 pitch. Make it strike 2. Fired in right at the knees. It's now the Lander dugout's turn to shout and protest at the strike zone. Schreckengost and Yeager the runners, each with a run-scoring hit in the inning. Breaking ball popped up. That one's going to get back over the press box, off the roof of the press box, rather. 0-2 on Glanton. Runners take off, check swing. They throw down to second, and Yeager is in there standing up. Cottingham, the second baseman, didn't appear to be expecting a throw. Apparently, they say that Glanton checked his swing. So it's a double steal. Schreckengost and Yeager each get their second stolen base of the season. Takes away the conventional double play. Still 1-2. And there's a swing and a miss on one in the dirt. Griffith will have to throw down to complete the strikeout, which he does. The first strikeout of the game for the Patriots. As Speck, at long last, has the second out of the inning. Now Zach Moore. He also, like Flanton, singled up the middle earlier in this inning as he has the 11th Bearcat to come to the plate. Been 4 hits, 1 hit batter, and 2 walks. They got 3 walks, I should say, this inning for Lander. As Speck just misses. Moore now 5 for 10 against the Patriots in the 4 games he has played against them in his Bearcats career. As it's a strike from Warren Speck. And 4 for 9 with 4 runs batted in last year, including, as I mentioned, that walk-off single in the second game of that series in extra innings. Speck's 1-1. Good breaking ball. Drops in there for strike 2. The Patriots will have some ground to make up. They had the lead with a first inning run after Flynn had gotten out of trouble in the top of the first. But Lander has erupted for 6 so far here in the second. And make it more as this one's lined past the diving Fred Wadsworth into left field. This is going to get 2 more in for Lander. Second hit of the inning for Moore. Schreckengost and Yeager both touch home plate. It's an 8-run frame. And now Carson Jones will get his second crack at the inning. Patriots head coach Art Abbott is right back out there at the mound, and he is pointing to the bullpen once again. So Warren Specht gets 1 out in a span of 5 batters, but now he will be removed, and the Patriots go back into the bullpen. Take a brief timeout and tell you about the new FMU hurler after this timeout on the Patriot Sports Network. Southpaw Weston Rogers will take over for Francis Marion. It's an 8-run inning so far for Lander, and they may not be done. Rogers, a 6'2 sophomore out of Mullins, South Carolina. So far this season, 7 appearances, all starts prior to tonight, 3.53 ERA and 2-3 record. 37 hits allowed in 35 2/3 innings, 22 strikeouts to 19 walks, opponents hitting .286 against another former Florence Darlington Tech Stinger. It'll be Carson Jones to face Rogers. Over at first is Zach Moore, who just singled for the second time in this inning, this time bringing in 2 more Lander runs. They have 8 runs on 5 hits. And Rogers delivers a strike, a part of the Patriot weekend rotation up to this point in the season. This is his first relief outing, looking to give the Patriots some length now with their starter, Evan Flynn, working an inning and a third, and Warren Specht just getting 1 out in the span of the 5 batters that he faced. Allowed 3 hits and walked 1. Book closed on Flynn. 5 runs in his inning and a third. The other 3 runs been charged to Specht, and he's also responsible for the runner at first, as again Rogers just misses. But 2 balls and a strike on Jones, who walked earlier in this inning to load the bases and has scored. It's a cut and a miss to even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. When we get to the bottom of the second, Patriots will have Griffith, Mackinson, and Cottingham, the 6, 7, 8 hitters, try to start to dig themselves out of what is currently a 7-run hole. 2-2, swing and a miss, and Rogers comes in, strikes out Carson Jones to end the inning, but not before Lander pushes across 8 runs. We'll go to the last of the second. 8-1 Lander on the Patriot Sports Network. Eight to 1 Bearcats, bottom of the second here. Cornwall Field at Sparrow Stadium. Patriots with some work to do. They'll get it started here in the bottom of the second with their senior catcher, Alex Griffith. He has been heating up as of late, up to 9th in the conference with 25 runs batted in, 273 average, and a team leading 4 home runs. Takes a called strike here. He had a stretch last week in which he homered in 3 consecutive games. The 0-1 from Alex Moore. He pours in another strike. Plenty of runs to work with now for Moore, who retired the first 2 Patriots before giving up back-to-back 2-out hits, a Taylor triple and then a Pappas RBI single to give FMU a short-lived 1-0 lead. He strikes out Griffith on 3 pitches for his second K of the evening. Now C.J. Mackinson, the senior shortstop, hitting .274 on the season. A pair of homers and 17 runs batted in. Both of C.J.'s homers came in the same game. Only Patriot to do that so far this season. Mackinson 2 for 11 against Lander last year, including a double. Moore pitched against the Patriots in relief last year, went 2 innings, gave up a hit, struck out 3, and got the win in that extra inning game where Zach Moore, his battery mate, had the walk-off single. 1-0 to Mackinson. Check swing roller to the right side on the charge, Connell, 2 down. So with 2 down, it's up to the second baseman, Grayson Cunningham. Grayson hitting .211 on the season. 1 homer. It was a grand slam. 12 runs batted in. Grayson, the junior from Florence, takes a strike here. Graduate of West Florence High School. First season after starting his collegiate career at Florence Darlington Tech. And Moore is quickly ahead 0-2, looking to get his offense right back out there after giving him 8 runs worth of support, a strike away from dealing a 1-2-3 second inning. Working exclusively out of the stretch. Well, no, now he's going to wind up. Fooled me. Called third. Down goes Cunningham. It's 3 up, 3 down for Francis Marion in the second. And Lander will carry an 8-1 lead into the third on the Patriot Sports Network. We go to the third. Josh Gregory to get things started for Lander. 9-1-2. Gregory, Connell, Adona coming up. Gregory drove in the first run for Lander. Last inning, a sacrifice fly. Came up with the bases loaded and nobody out. Weston Rogers back to work. Starts the lefty off with his strike. Weston came out of the Patriot bullpen to strike out Carson Jones to end, at long last, that lengthy 8-run second inning. Patriots used 3 pitchers in that inning. Evan Flynn, who got the start tonight, got the first out and gave up 5 runs. Warren Speck got the second out, gave up 3 runs, and then Rogers got the final out. Gregory, a .268 hitter this season. Rogers drops to the belt as he winds. Fouled away. Balls and 2 strikes. The shadows just about completely covering the infield now. Fred Wadsworth at third base has moved the shades up from over his eyes to up on the top of his hat. 2-2. In tight. Full count. Lights are on here at Sparrow Stadium. Rogers deals a payoff. Swing and a miss. He has now struck out both of the batters that he has faced. A good start to the evening for the sophomore southpaw. Back to the top of the order, Bailey Connell, the second baseman. Never a good sign when the leadoff hitter for the opposing team is already getting his third at-bat in the third inning. That's a situation at hand here. Connell grounded out to start the game, then was hit by a pitch and scored last inning. Takes a first pitch strike here. Those 8 runs for Lander scored by 8 different hitters. The only Bearcat in the starting lineup not to score last inning was Gregory, who hit the sacrifice fly. So, very much a balanced attack for Lander, as everyone at least drove in a run if they did not score. 2-1 to Connell. Comes up empty. Rogers has come out sharp so far this evening. The Patriots will certainly hope that can give them some innings here. At least try to keep them somewhat within shouting distance and give them a chance to come back into it. If you're going to give up 8 runs, might as well do it early to give you plenty of time to come back, although the Patriots went down quickly and quietly against Alex Moore in the next half inning. Now Rogers misses inside as Connell once again is on base. Was hit by a pitch last time and now draws a walk. It's already 5 walks for the Patriots staff this evening. Now Vincent Adona to come to the plate. He's walked each of his first 2 trips, once with the bases loaded to pick up an RBI. He has 11 runs batted in on this season. Showing bunt, pulled it back as Rogers missed out of the zone. Another one out of the zone from Weston Rogers. Team that averages just 5.4 runs a game with an 8-run inning against this Patriots staff who came in with the best ERA in the conference. But when you don't throw strikes, as the Patriots have struggled to do tonight, even a team like Lander, who has been struggling as of late, going to find a way to do some damage. Rio. And it's a 4-pitch walk, and now Rogers, after striking out the first 2 he faced, has now walked the next 2, including Adona on 4 straight. Adona hasn't even had to swing the bat, and he's been on 3 times. That's 2 on, 1 out for the designated hitter, Mike Fitzgin. Fitzgin, a junior out of Margate, Florida. Fly out and a bases loaded walk for him so far today. 6 for 14 in last year's series with 3 runs scored and 3 runs batted in. And he takes a called strike here, 0-1. Lander winning those games last year 14-6, 4-3 in 10 innings and 10-3. They had pretty good offensive games against FMU, which is very different FMU staff this year than last year. But so far, Lander has found success again. So fouled off first base side, and Pappas got a little turned around by it, overran it, and tried to reach his glove back the other way. And couldn't come up with it. Strike 2 on Fitzgerald. That would have been nice for Rogers to be able to get that one. As it would have been the second out of the inning, and the runners would not have had the opportunity to advance. But Fitzgerald has life still. Rogers tries the breaking ball, but it missed wide. Every Peach Belt Conference series is, of course, crucial, but especially when you face a team as Lander is that has lost 11-12, you'd like to be able to take advantage of that. The runners go, lined right back at Rogers, and he will toss to second to get the force, and it's a double play. Patriots get a break to go their way there as Rogers in perfect position to snare that liner. And the inning comes to an end, so Rogers able to dance around a couple of walks. It's still, though, 8-1 Lander, though, as we head to the bottom of the third on the Patriot Sports Network. 9-1 two-hitters coming up for Francis Marion in the bottom of the third, trailing Lander 8-1 in the opener of this three-game PBC series. We'll have the other two games of this series for you as well here on the Patriot Sports Network. 2 o'clock first pitch tomorrow, and then 1 on Sunday. Senior Fred Wadsworth, third baseman, digging in against right-hander Alex Moore to start the third inning, and Wadsworth swinging away in the first. Pops it up foul first base side, and the first baseman, Schreckengost, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Moore here in the third. He got the Patriots quickly and quietly in the second. He's only needed 27 pitches to get through 2 in the third. Just by comparison, Evan Flynn needed 22 pitches to get through the first inning tonight. And he didn't give up any runs in that frame. As the lineup turns back over to the top for Will Hardy. Looking to, with a base hit tonight, extend his hitting streak to 12, which would be the longest for an FMU hitter this season. And he gets ahead of here in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Fouled out to the left fielder, Blanton, his first time up. And Morris quickly now behind in the count, 3-0. Other than the back-to-back 2-out hits for the Patriots in the first inning, Moore has kept the Patriots off the base paths the first time through the order at 3 strikeouts. And Hardy will toss the bat aside, 4-pitch walk. Pretty much out of nowhere because Moore has been efficient with his strikes so far. What a 4-pitch walk to Hardy. Now Cole Hinnant. Hinnant struck out his first time up. And make it 5 straight out of the zone as Hinnant takes one a little bit up and out of the zone. Last year, these two did not face off. In that extra inning contest in which Moore pitched, and now after the 6th straight ball thrown by Moore, Zach Moore, the catcher, goes out for a little confidence booster. And it was leading the Peach Belt Conference in batting average for a little while. It is right now Georgia College's Cal Gentry who tops the conference, hitting over 400. In it at 386 at the start of play today. A lazy pickoff throw to first. Hardy is easily back. Not sure why Lander's bothering to throw over. Hardy probably not going to steal. Patriots need base runners, and they'll get another one here as Hinnant is hit by the pitch up near his shoulder. The Patriots now with 2 on with 1 out. This is the part of the order you want up with runners on the base paths. Team leader in RBIs, Gage Taylor, to the dish. Gage with 31 runs batted in this season. He tripled and scored Patriots' first and, to this point, lone run of the night back in the opening inning. And now has a chance to help the Patriots begin the comeback from this 7-run deficit that they currently face. Hardy at second, Hinnant at first, having reached on a walk and hit by pitch respectively. First, Taylor's way, strike from Moore. Moore in his last outing went 7 innings against Columbus State. His longest outing of the season, gave up 4 runs on 7 hits, walked 2 and struck out 7. Taylor taps one foul towards the Bearcats' dugout. In Moore's last 4 starts, he has 7 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, and 7. And 10 in a win over Millersville back on February 8th. So far, 3 strikeouts against FMU tonight. This is outside with the 0-2 offering Taylor with a fastball. These two teams have played 3 common opponents so far. Both have dropped both games against Newberry that they've played. The Wolves ranked 22nd in the latest national poll. As once again, Taylor fights one off. Both teams dropped 2 out of 3 in their conference series against Young Harris. And the other common opponent is Flagler. They swept the Bearcats down in Florida, while FMU took 2 of 3 from the Saints here in Florence, back in their first conference home series of the season. One-two to Taylor. Rounds one to the left side. The shortstop Odona will go to third for the force, and they will get the lead runner, Will Hardy, for the second out of the inning. Probably fortunate for Odona that there was a force play on a third, because if there wasn't, he probably would not have had any play, because his momentum was carrying him so far into the hole at short. But there's now 2 on with 2 out for Nick Pappas. Came through with a 2-out run scoring hit his first time up. See if he can do it again. 24 runs batted in now for the transfer from the College of Charleston. Pappas, a junior, playing first base for the 3rd time this season. He has spent most of his season when he's been in the lineup as the designated hitter for FMU. Swapping with Lenny Gonzalez. The first base and DH duties here tonight. Gonzalez, who hits behind him, the designated hitter, and the first baseman for much of the season for the Patriots. He waits on deck. Hitting at second and Taylor at first. Moore's 2-0, tries the breaking ball and went around the outside corner. Pappas, one of the more memorable hits for FMU this season, especially here at home. A walk-off home run in extra innings against Flagler last month. He's taking on 3-0 and Moore fires in a strike. His first and to this point only home run as a Patriot. Patriots would take one here, but any sort of 2-out hit would do. Try to chip away at this 7-run deficit. And it's upstairs, ball 4 on Pappas. And the Patriots now have the bases loaded with 2 outs for Lenny Gonzalez. Second walk of the game and of the inning for Alex Moore. Gonzalez, a .312 hitter, 3 homers, including one of the Patriots' 6 grand slams. And so Gonzalez has a chance here to break the Peach Belt Conference record for FMU for home runs in a single season by a team. Last year, Young Harris launched 6. That is the current record that the Patriots share with as we get a meeting at the mound. Gonzalez in his first season at FMU. The Sumter, South Carolina native transferred from USC Sumter. He hit .414 last year with 10 homers and 40 runs batted in. Parents went 37-23 last season, with him leading the charge offensively, and now a chance to help his current club, the Patriots, get closer than their current 7-run deficit. They have Cole Hennon at third, Gage Taylor at second, Nick Pappas at first. Base hit likely scores 2. First one to Gonzalez. A little bit in off the plate from Moore. Gonzalez, the lone switch hitter for the Patriots, hitting lefty against the righty Moore. He's hit a home run from both sides of the plate this season. His grand slam came left-handed. Another one that did not miss by a whole lot. I think both teams have had problems with the strike zone tonight, especially from a pitching perspective. but a tighter zone tonight. And that one is low for ball 3. Nowhere to put Gonzalez. Alex Griffith, the catcher, lurking in the on-deck circle for the red, white, and blue. 3-0. Gonzalez is taking, and Moore sends one right down the chute. Patriots without a hit in this inning. 2 walks and a hit batter. They've been not hit to this point 5-2. It was a 3-1. Dallas hops it into the FMU dugout. With a full count and 2 down, the runners will get a head start from their base paths. Further leading me to believe that a base hit will score both runners that are in scoring position, that is. Another grounder foul. Will Hardy jumps out of the FMU dugout to grab it. More kicks and fires. Gonzalez just got a piece to stay alive. Hardy walked, and it was hit by a pitch. Taylor reached out a fielder's choice, and then Pappas was walked to load the bases. For FMU ahead of Gonzalez. And he cuts and misses. 4th strikeout for Alex Moore as the Patriots get a big opportunity but leave the bases full in the bottom of the 3rd. They trail 8-1 as we go to the 4th on the Patriot Sports Network. Middle 3rd of the lineup, due up for Lander. Top of the 4th, Nathan Schreckengost, Colton Yeager, Rory Glanton. Bearcats getting all 8 of their runs to this point in the evening in the 2nd inning, taking advantage of some Patriot walks and a couple of hit batters as well. 3 walks in that inning alone, as this one is ripped foul by Schreckengost. Bounces off of the tarp and ricochets into right field, where Hinnant will have to go over and toss it out of play. Schreckengost was hit by a pitch in the 1st and then drove in 2 with a single his last time up, and now he takes one in the back. Second time that he has been hit in this game, and that is already 3 batters that have been hit by FMU pitching tonight. They've also walked 6. So just there, Lander's got 9 base runners without hits, and they have also added 5 hits. So now Yeager, he had an RBI single and scored a run in that 8-run second. He's also bounced into a fielder's choice. At the time, it seemed like a big out for FMU as Flynn was able to strand a couple of base runners in the first inning without allowing a run, and then FMU went on to score to make it 1-0 in the bottom of the first. But the 8-run second certainly changing the outlook of that. Here's the 2-0 to Yeager in the dirt, scooped up by Griffith. And for whatever reason, all 3 pitchers that the Patriots have tossed out there have had some control problems tonight. Rio to Yeager. 4-pitch walk. The first 2 are on for Lander here in the 4th. A hit batter and a free pass. 3rd walk allowed by Rogers so far in his inning in the 3rd. Got into some trouble last inning with a couple of walks, but a line drive hit right back at him that he snared, and then he fired to second to complete a double play to end that Lander threat. They have had at least 2 base runners now in each of the first 4 innings. And Rogers will fall behind Glanton 1-0. Glanton so far in this game has singled and struck out. Rogers, rather, Specht struck him out back in the 2nd. In his 2nd at bat of the inning, he started that inning by singling up the middle. The other games around the PBC tonight. Now 3-0 on Glanton, USC Aiken, and Columbus State, the 1st and 2nd place teams in the conference, playing in the 4th inning. Columbus State leading 2-1. UNC Pembroke with a 9-1 lead over Georgia College in the bottom of the 4th. Another 4-pitch walk. Bases reloaded for Lander. Zach Moore coming to the plate now for the Bearcats, as Weston Rogers, after hitting Schreckengoss to start the inning, has missed with his next 8 offerings for walks number 3 and 4 of his evening. And that's 8 walks issued by the Patriots staff. The other score in the Peach Belt, Augusta leads North Georgia 2-1. They're in the top of the 6th. As once again we get Patriots scurrying out toward the bullpen in right field. Junior right-hander Will Tax appeared to be the one who was about to start to get his arm loose. So the base is loaded for Lander with nobody out here in the 4th, already leading 8-1. Moore has singled twice. And he takes downstairs from Rogers. Singled up the middle to start the 2nd. Later in the inning, he brought home 2 with another single. Got Schreckengost at 3rd, Yeager at 2nd, Glanton at 1st with nobody out. Another one downstairs from Weston Rogers. Another one low. Moore with now 5 RBIs in the season after his 2-run single. And make it 6. As he will come in to score, or he will drive in a run, I should say. Coming in to score is Schreckengost on the bases loaded walk. That's the 3rd bases loaded walk that the Patriots have issued tonight. And Lander is now up by 8, 9-1. A hit batter followed by 3 consecutive walks in this 4th inning for Lander. And Carson Jones to the plate. That one's way off the plate inside. It's going to get another run in. Wild pitch from Rogers. As Yeager scores and both of the other runners move up. Ten to 1 now in favor of the Bearcats. They were looking for a way to get their offense going, and FMU has certainly helped them out tonight with the hit batters and the walks that they have issued tonight. Fourth time this season that Lander has scored double-digit runs. Their season high was a 16-run game against Millersville last month. And that's going to be the end of the line for Weston Rogers as Arden Abbott comes out, brings the hook with him. We'll tell you about the new Francis Marion hurler after this quick timeout on the Patriot Sports Network. Six-foot junior right-hander Will Tax takes over for FMU. Bases loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Lander up 10 to 1. Tax out of Columbia, South Carolina. So far this season, no record, a 4.50 ERA, 6 appearances. He's gone 6 innings, allowed 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .296. He will be facing the right fielder Carson Jones. Yeah, never mind. Will Tax. His first pitch is off the plate outside. 4th pitcher of the evening for the Patriots. Evan Flynn started, then Warren Speck, Weston Rogers, now Will Tax. 2-0 count on Jones as he assumed the 1-0 count. Bases loaded with Bearcats. Or second and third, rather, after the wild pitch. They have 2 runs in the inning, and Tax misses outside. Breckengost and Yeager have scored, Landon at third, and Zach Moore at second. And now the bases are loaded. As Tax issues the walk. Misses downstairs with the first one to Josh Gregory now, as the Patriots have walked 4 in a row after the inning was started by a hit batter. Bases reloaded for Lander. Gregory a sac fly and a strikeout. He remains the only Bearcat to not touch home plate tonight. Rounds this one sharply to short. Mackinson gloves, flips to Cottingham 1, Rayland to first. And that's a twin killing, much needed for the Patriots. Glenn does come in to score. 6-4-3 double play. It's 11-1. The Patriots will certainly take the 2 outs, although they can't really afford to give up any more runs. But the way they've been struggling to get outs tonight, double play is a welcome sight. It's actually the second double play for the Patriots tonight. Fitchin lined into a double play to end the third. Back to the top of the order, Bailey Connell. That one hit in the dirt. Ricocheted off of the paraphernalia of Griffith, who then could not find it. And that'll get another run in. A wild pitch from Tax. 4 runs in this inning for Lander. It's now 12-1. And a 1-0 count on Connell, who has grounded out, been hit by a pitch, and walked so far in this contest. 3 hit batters and 10 walks from the FMU staff tonight. There's a strike on Connell. Tax pitched once for FMU last year in the series against Lander. Went a third of an inning, ended up giving up 4 unearned runs. The error was made behind him. Swing and a miss by Connell, and Tax a strike away from getting out of this lengthy 4th inning. 8 runs in the second, 4 more here in the 4th for Lander after the Patriots led 1-0 at the end of 1. 2-2, swing and a miss, and Tax ends the inning with a strikeout as Connell goes down, but not before Lander extends their lead. It's 12-1 Bearcats after 3.5 on the Patriot Sports Network. 12-1 Lander, bottom of the fourth. Patriots sending Griffith, Mackinson, and Cunningham. They're 6, 7, 8 swingers to the plate. Griffith 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He has now struck out in both of his plate appearances against Alex Moore in his career, as he fanned against him last year as well. 4 strikeouts for Moore through 3 innings. Patriots loaded the bases last inning with 2 outs on a hit batter and 2 walks, but were unable to dent the Lander lead as the appeal says Griffith went around for a strike. He bounces this one through the left side, a base hit. I think the third baseman, Yeager, might have thought that Adono, the shortstop, was going to go after it. Neither one really did. I'm not sure it would have mattered. But a solid single through the left side for Alex Griffith to start the Patriot fourth, their third hit of the evening. Well, this offense certainly is capable of scoring a bunch of runs. They're going to need it tonight if they want to come back and take this series opener. They average 8.5 a game. They've scored as many as 20. They scored 20 against USC Aiken in the finale of a 3-game set a few weeks back as Mackinson taps it foul. 0 for 1 with a ground ball for CJ tonight. Senior out of Sykesville, Maryland. Strike 1 from Alex Moore. Swung through the breaking ball, strike 2. And there's a called third strike on the inside part of the plate. 5th strikeout for Moore. First out of this bottom of the 4th inning. Now Grayson Cunningham will come to the plate. Cunningham was called out on strikes his first time up today. Wild pitch. We'll get Alex Griffith over to second. Patriots this season have scored at least 13 runs 7 times, so it's not unheard of that FMU could score that many runs and come back and win this game. In fact, they scored 16 or more in back-to-back games. The 20-run game against USC Aiken, as I mentioned, then they came back 3 days later and put 16 on Queens. Swing and a miss by Cunningham. After a low for them at that point in the season, total of 9 runs against Newberry in the following contest, they then proceeded to score 19, 14, and 16 in the next 3 games. So this team can get hot. Cunningham takes it low, 2 balls and a strike. They will also have to stop Lander from scoring, which means they'll have to start throwing more strikes. They've already walked 10 as Cunningham flies this one down the left field line, over towards the line. Making the catch is Glanton. That one was way up into the evening sky. Cunningham will trot back to the dugout now, 0 for 2 for the evening. Griffith stays put at second. And FMU will see if they can get a 2-out hit from their senior third baseman, Fred Wadsworth. To keep this 4th inning going, Wadsworth fouled out to first his first time up. He's been starting to get more at-bats recently. 7th game of the season and 4th start. Swinging away on the first one, pops it up behind the plate. Coming back is Zach Moore, and we'll watch it get 4 rows deep into the crowd here at Sparrow Stadium behind home plate. A couple of folks covered in blankets. Now that the sun has gone down, Getting a little cooler here. Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium. Strike one pitch to Wadsworth. That's right through it for strike two. Wadsworth, first season with FMU, but he is a senior. Transfer from Lorraine University. Trying to drive in Alex Griffith. Singled sharply to get the inning started. He's over at second. The strike two. Bounced weakly to the left side, foul. A roll toward the edge of the Lander dugout. Moore checks the runner before dealing. And he strikes out Wadsworth. That's strikeout number 6 as he will strand the leadoff single. 4 innings in the books here in Florence. It's Lander 12, Francis Marion 1 on the Patriot Sports Network. Vincent Badona to lead things off for Lander here in the 5th. Will Tax back to work for Francis Marion, and he delivers a strike. 0-1. 8 runs, second, 4-run fourth for Lander. The Patriots did lead 1-0 after the first. RBI single by Nick Pappas. Another called strike for Tax on Adona, who has walked 3 times. The Peach Belt Conference record is 5 for a single game. And unless he is lifted, he will have at least one more opportunity. But is down on the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes against Will Tax, who recorded all 3 outs in the 4th inning despite not starting that inning. Weston Rogers opened the inning. He ended up going an inning and a third in relief. Tax the 4th, Francis Marion hurler. Will got the final out for the Patriots in their 10-5 midweek victory over Claflin University in Orangeburg that ended a 3-2 5-game road trip for the Patriots. They played so many home games earlier in the season. Now 6-3 on the road as this one's chopped to the right side, but it'll go foul. 12 runs for Lander, but on just 5 hits, as FMU has walked 10, a new season high for the staff in terms of walking batters. They've also hit 3 batters. That one's low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Adona. He came in, I think, just 191. And only walked 6 times, so wasn't necessarily known for his eye. High bouncer to the right side. Step out of the outfield grass in right. Cunningham makes the play. Adona is retired. And Contrary to what you might think, with the Patriots having given up 12 runs so far, it's actually the third time in the first 5 innings that they have kept the leadoff hitter off the base paths in an inning. Although the 2 innings where the leadoff runner did reach are the 2 innings where Lander has scored. Mike Fitzgin to the plate, 0 for 2 plus a walk. Drew a bases loaded walk as a part of that 8-run inning as Tax fires one wide. Tax last year a 4.09 ERA and 14 relief appearances. Fires in a strike here. 11 relief appearances as a freshman in 2017, had a 5.40 ERA. Hard to believe that the last time Lander was here was in 2015, as there's a swing and a miss by Fitzgin. Played in Greenwood in 2016. Patriots won 2 out of 3. Did not play in 2017. Lander swept Francis Marion in Greenwood last year. And now finally a return to Florence this year. Cut on and miss. Down goes Fitzgin on strikes as Will Tax records his second strikeout. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitting first baseman, Nathan Schreckengost. Schreckengost has been hit twice and has a 2-run single, a couple of runs scored. He's also stolen a base. Lander had a double steal that they pulled off as a part of that 8-run inning. Tax missing a little bit low. Tax 1-0 is slammed deep but foul on the left field line back towards the entrance to the Griffin Athletic Complex. Swing and a miss. Sweeping breaking ball offered up there by Tax, and Schreckengost came up empty. One, two, outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Schreckengost. Patriots came into the weekend tied with Flagler for 3rd place in the conference standings at 9-6. The Saints do not begin their weekend series at home against Young Harris until tomorrow. So FMU, with a loss, would temporarily at least dip down below Flagler in the standings. The Saints will play 2 with the Mountain Lions tomorrow, I believe. There's ball 4 to Schreckengost, who's now been on all 4 times as Tax issues his second walk. And that keeps the Patriots from their first defensive 1-2-3 inning of the night. Now Colton Yeager, 1 for 2 plus a walk. 2 runs scored, 1 RBI. Yeager now with 15 runs batted in on the season. The junior from Jacksonville, Florida, not North Carolina. Outside with the first offering from Will Tax. Low from Tax. Tristan Freeman has entered the game for FMU behind the plate. Coming on after Alex Griffith singled in his most recent at-bat. He was lifted for Freeman. I believe the rest of the FMU defense has remained the same. 2-1. And Freeman has that one ricochet off of his pads, and it goes to the backstop. Down to second on the wild pitch goes Schreckengost. He tried to make a sliding block, but unfortunately for the freshman from Myrtle Beach, his slide ended up just redirecting the baseball in the opposite direction and all the way behind home plate. Runner in scoring position now with 2 outs for Lander. And that one pops out of the mitt of Freeman. That one will be a pass ball. Gets Schreckengoss to third. Yeager will trot down to first, having been walked for the second time tonight. Rory Glanton to the plate. 1 for 2. Single strikeout walk so far. 2 runs scored. Got runners on the corners here with 2 outs, as now Lander has gotten at least 2 base runners in all 5 offensive innings. Tax misses a little bit low. More stirring in the Patriot bullpen. Another right-hander starting to loosen up. One-zero. Well off the plate outside. Good backhanded stop there by Freeman. Reaching way across into the left-handed batter's box to get that one, to prevent Tax from his second wild pitch of the inning. Ground ball toward Wadsworth at third. Tried to tag out the runner, but he got back on the base, but he fired across the diamond to retire Glanton and the side. So Lander once again threatens, but this time the Patriots are able to keep the Bearcats from adding to their lead, but they still trail 12-1 halfway home here on the Patriot Sports Network. Top of the order for FMU, last of the 5th. Cole Hinnett, Gage Taylor to follow Will Hardy, the freshman from right here in Florence. Takes one right through the heart of the plate from Alex Moore. Patriots are 15-2 when scoring first, as they did tonight. As Hardy drives this one deep in the air out into right center field. Racing over is Jones. He won't get it. It's off the wall. Hardy looked like he was going to stop at second. Now he's going to go to third, and he will make it. That one just about carried out of here. That's a 12-game hitting streak for Hardy, the new longest by a Patriot this season, and the Patriots' second triple of the night. Gives them a leadoff runner at third with nobody out. So as I mentioned, 15-2 when scoring first. This could be the beginning of what would be a very unlikely, at least to this point in the evening, the way things have gone, comeback. Will Hardy, the first Patriot now to have multiple triples this season. It's the fourth Patriot hit of the night. Cole Hinnant at the plate. Strikeout and a hit by pitch so far tonight for the senior right fielder. It looked like he was going to try to hold back the swing and just couldn't. Strike two on Hinnant. Actually pitched a couple innings against Lander last year in addition to playing the field against the Bearcats. Slams this one foul. Out of play, that one's toward the field house. And the Hartzler Field soccer stadium that is behind baseball stadium here on the first base side in the Griffin Athletic Complex. And then entered the day at the top 5 in the conference in RBIs with 28. Has a great opportunity to drive one in here with Hardy at third and nobody out. Way upstairs, the fastball from Moore. With an 11-run lead, Lander playing back in the infield with a runner third and less than 2 outs, as you would expect, so most balls in play would probably score the run. But Hinnant is unable to do so as he strikes out. 7th strikeout for Moore. Now Taylor with one away. It's 5 straight starts now for Moore. And now 6 times in his 8 starts this season where he has struck out at least 7 batters. Now Taylor, he had the other FMU triple and came around to score their only run back in the first. Good stop there by Zach Moore. I want to pitch that hit him. So it was an unnecessary stop by Moore as the pitch hits Taylor, who reaches for the second time, and now Nick Pappas, who drove in the Patriot first inning run. An opportunity here to drive in at least another. Doesn't necessarily even need to be a hit. Fly ball should do the trick. Already pretty good speed over there at third base. Pappas takes one outside. Nick now with 24 runs batted in on the season. He's been on base both times he has come to the plate tonight. RBI single in the first and then walked his last trip. His .467 on base was 8th in the conference at the start of play tonight. 1-0 way upstairs. Pappas leaning back out of the way. Pappas fouls it off. FMU has actually only been out hit by 1. 5-4 to this point in the evening, which is hard to believe if you're just looking at the scoreboard. That's what happens when you walk as many batters as FMU's pitching staff has tonight. Pappas pops it up to Schreckengost in foul territory. Makes the catch just behind the base. 2 down in the inning. And it'll be up to Lenny Gonzalez, the designated hitter. Gonzalez, .470 on base percentage at the start of play today, but he has not reached yet. In this contest, a flyout and a strikeout. He's got 2 on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. FMU trying to get something going offensively. Swing and a miss by Gonzalez. Got that 2-out triple from Taylor in the first, and Pappas scored him with an RBI single. Had 2 on, or rather, they loaded the bases, I should say, with 2 outs in the third inning. Could not score. Stranded a runner in scoring position last inning as well. And that one hit Gonzalez. Second time in the inning that Moore has hit a batter. That's his third hit batter. Patriots have hit 3 as well. And now Tristan Freeman will get his first at-bat of the night, having come in the top of this inning to replace Alex Griffith behind the plate. Griffith leaves the game having gone 1 for 2 with a single last time up. He was the one who was stranded in scoring position. Freeman, the freshman from Myrtle Beach, comes up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 5th. And he is hit by a pitch. Got him on the hand, it looked like. So Freeman will get the RBI the painful way, as the leadoff triple is followed by 3 hit batters for FMU to get a run here in the bottom of the 5th. It's now 12-2. Freeman's second RBI. And now C.J. Mackinson with the bases still loaded and 2 outs. Patriots have hit .356 with the bases loaded so far this season. Mackinson 1 for 4 with the bases loaded. Gage Taylor, Lenio Gonzalez, Tristan Freeman, the runners from third to first for FMU, all having reached after getting hit by pitches from Alex Moore. Fires one in the dirt, stopped by Zach Moore. Ball 2 on Mackinson, a ground ball and a strikeout for the Francis Marion Sr. shortstop tonight. Patriots really need to get at least a few runs out of this bases loaded situation. They've got 1 so far. But here in the 5th inning, down by 10, 1's not going to be enough. They have dreams of coming back and winning this one. 2-1. Off speed. How about in front? Mackinson cuts and misses. It's strikeout number 8 for Moore as the Patriots leave the bases loaded for the second time. They get the leadoff triple from Hardy. He scores on the bases loaded, hit by a pitch. But the Patriots will have to settle for 1 and trail 12-2 as we go to the 6th on the Patriot Sports Network. Link Powell will take over for Francis Marion as we go to the top of the 6th. Powell, a junior right-hander, 6'2", out of Johnsonville, South Carolina. Earlier in his collegiate career, he has attended Presbyterian College and USC Lancaster. Set the program record for career wins at USCL. He comes in to make his 6th appearance as a Patriot, yet to give up an earned run. In 5 innings, he's allowed 2 hits, walked 4, struck out 8. Opponents hitting just $125 against Powell. He'll be throwing to a new catcher as Dalton Dabbs, a freshman out of Sumter, checks in. Tristan Freeman had come in to catch in the 5th inning for the Patriots, but then in the bottom of the 5th got hit in the hand by a pitch with the bases loaded, so he got an RBI for it. But he checks out after getting hit on the hand. We hope he's all right, but he's taken out of the lineup by Francis Marion here. And so Dabbs behind the plate, Powell on the hill, and the other catcher, Zach Moore, at the plate. And Powell gets him to swing through his first offering. 12-2 here in the top of the 6th. 8 in the first, 4 in the second for Lander. Patriots with 1 in the first, 1 in the 5th. They've left the bases loaded now twice, FMU. Another swing and a miss by Zach Moore. Powell worked a scoreless inning in the Patriots' 10-5 win over Claflin back on Wednesday evening. Out of the wind, he deals. This is low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Moore. 2 hits and a walk for Zach Moore. 2 runs scored and 3 runs batted in. For Moore, who came in batting just .151 on the year. Full count. Zach Moore, junior from Holly Springs, North Carolina, transfer from East Carolina University. Here's Powell's payoff. He misses outside, so we got ahead quickly, but walks Zach Moore, and that brings up Carson Jones. Powell, the 5th pitcher used by Francis Marion tonight, was Evan Flynn at the start. He was followed by Warren Specht, then Weston Rogers, and then Will Tax. Tax, the most recent, couple of scoreless innings, walked 3 and struck out 2, before now giving way to Powell here in the 6th, who allows the leadoff runner to reach in front of Carson Jones, who has yet to put the ball in play tonight. He has walked twice and struck out. Dabbs had it pop out of his mitt, but kept it within his reach, so no chance for advancement for the catcher Moore over on at first base. Middle game of this series tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, and then the Sunday series finale at 1. Both games again here on the Patriot Sports Network. Patriots expected to send junior lefty Josh Bobrowski to the mound tomorrow, and then senior right-hander Isaac Rogers to the hill on Sunday. A little bit inside from Powell. Rogers, the Sunday starter, tossed a complete game a week ago Wednesday at Limestone as the first complete game by a Francis Marion pitcher in a little bit more than 2 seasons, as this one's flown toward Hinnant in right. The senior makes the play with relative ease to retire Carson Jones for the first out. Zach Moore stays put. Now the center fielder, Josh Gregory. Sacrifice fly, a strikeout, and a double play ball for Lander's center fielder tonight. 0 for 2 officially. Patriots have turned a couple of double plays already. One of the ground ball variety, one of the line drive variety. This one's drilled into right field, but Hinnant has it in his tracks. A couple steps back and 1 or 2 to his left. Now 1 pitch. Gregory was retired, 2 away. And that'll leave it up to the second baseman, Bailey Connell, as the lineup turns back over to the top for Lander, his 5th trip to the plate, 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and walked, scoring once. On either side of that, he has bounced out and struck out. Link Powell trying to work around the leadoff walk, and he gets ahead of Bailey Connell. 278 on the season, 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Leads Lander with 6 stolen bases on the season. The right-handed hitting second baseman. One smothered by Dabbs. Fouled away for strike 2. So Powell a strike away from posting a 0 here in the 6th. Lander with 8 in the second inning and 4 in the 4th. It was flown down the left field line, going foul, and it is just barely foul. Will Hardy was in pursuit, but that one was going to rattle around in the corner and possibly get another run for Lander had it landed maybe a foot or so to the right. Just a long strike as Lander has a couple of players going down to their bullpen for the first time. Alex Moore threw 5 innings so far for them. They allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. Just hit 3 batters, though, in the 5th inning to help Francis Marion get their first run since the opening inning. Just outside from Powell. Once again, the strike zone of home plate umpire T.R. Sloan, a cause of concern for some Patriots on the bench there. Thinking the inning was over. Throw to first. Count. 12-5-0 for Lander, 2-4-0 for the Patriots. Reynolds will be off with the pitch here with 3-2 and 2 down, and it hits him. So Bailey Connell was hit by a pitch for the second time tonight. Nathan Schreckengost has also been hit by a pitch twice for Lander. It'll be Vincent Adona to come to the plate next for the Bearcats. No one has gotten hit twice for FMU, but they've also seen 4 guys hit by a pitch tonight. Adona has walked 3 times and grounded out. One of those walks was a bases loaded walk in the 8-run second, so he picked up an RBI for that, his 11th. He's also scored a run. As ahead in the count here now, 2 balls and no strikes with 2 on and 2 away. Driven high in the air to right field. Cole Hinnant camps under it, and he ends up making all 3 outs in the inning. And Link Powell works around a walk and a hit batter to post a 0 in the 6th. FMU down 10 as we go to the bottom half on the Patriot Sports Network. Grayson Cottingham to lead off for Francis Marion, last of the sixth. Cottingham, Wadsworth, and Hardy. 8-9 one-hitters in the Patriot lineup. Due up here in the inning. Trailing Lander 12-2. Alex Moore has twice in the last 3 innings left the bases loaded behind him. Allowed 1 run last inning. Although much of it last inning was of his own doing. He gave up the leadoff triple to Will Hardy, but then hit 3 of the next 5 batters after that, allowing FMU to score a run. 1-1. Cunningham takes a called strike. Cunningham waiting on a 1-2 pitch. Here it comes from Alex Moore. Just missed 2 balls and 2 strikes. A strikeout and a flyout for Cunningham. Spent 1 season at Florence Darlington Tech and another at USC Sumter. Hit .371 as a freshman at USC Sumter. Scored 41 times. And he cuts and misses here as Alex Moore strikes him out for the second time, and he fans his 9th of the evening. Now down to the 9th spot in the order to number 9, third baseman Fred Wadsworth. Wadsworth, a foul out and a strikeout in his first 2 plate appearances tonight, 0 for 2. Cuts and misses. His dad, also named Fred, played on the PGA Tour. We'll try to get something started here with 1 out in the Patriot half of the 6th inning. Foul tipped it into the glove of the catcher, Zach Moore. Patriots came into today with a .292 average and a .388 on-base percentage, both 5th in the conference, leading the conference in many offensive categories. But down goes Wadsworth there, tying a season high for Alex Moore with his 10th strikeout of the night. Mentioned it off the top that these two staffs were 1 and 2 in most strikeouts this season. Lander number 1 in the Peach Belt in strikeouts, and the Patriots were number 2. And Lander has held up their end of the bargain on the strikeout standpoint so far as Hardy swings and misses. Extended his hitting streak to 12 with a triple last inning and scored a run. He's also walked, so 1 for 2. 12-game hitting streak, the longest for FMU this season, 1 longer than Cole Hennon's 11-gamer earlier on in the season. Those are the 2 double-digit streaks Patriots have posted to this point in the season. Despite allowing 4 hits, Moore has only retired Francis Marion in order once to this point in the evening as Hardy taps it foul. That was back in the 2nd. Gave up a run in the 1st, a run in the 5th. Patriots left the bases loaded in both the 3rd and 5th innings. Left a runner in scoring position as well in the 4th. Hardy swings and misses, or will have to throw down to complete the strikeout, which he does. And Alex Moore strikes out the side in the 6th. He has a new season high 11 strikeouts for the night. 12-2 Bearcats. We've played 6 here in Florence on the Patriot Sports Network. Link Powell out for another inning of work for Francis Marion here in the 7th. He will be facing the 3, 4, and 5 hitters as Mike Fitzgin, the designated hitter, swinging away and fouls it away. By far, most walks that the Patriots pitching staff has allowed this season here tonight, but they've only given up 5 hits. They give up these 12 runs, which is quite an oddity. And FMU on their side has 4 hits, including 2 triples. Strike 2 pitch to Fitzgin outside. Lander came into today 1 game up on UNC Pembroke for the final, for the 8th spot, which would be the final spot to make the Peach Belt Conference tournament, which will be hosted by Flagler this season in St. Augustine, Florida. And UNC Pembroke is hammering Georgia College last check as Powell gets a looking strikeout. Fitzgin goes down looking as Link Powell collects his first strikeout and retires the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 7th. UNCP up 15-4 on Georgia College in the bottom of the 7th. So Lander, if they do in fact win and the Braves hang on to win that one, would keep their 1-game edge in that battle. Elsewhere in the conference, Columbus State leads USC Aiken 10-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Those 2 teams first and second in the conference standings at the start of play today, with CSU leading the conference. Although with the same winning percentage conference-wise, they have played 3, or rather Aiken is the one that's in front with 3 more conference games having been played. Each of them have won 2/3 of their conference games, as have the Patriots and Flagler. Driven into straightaway center field, Taylor on his horse, and we'll have to play this one off the wall. Nathan Schreckengost launches a double to center. He's been on the base paths all 5 times he's come to the plate tonight. 2 hits. He's been hit by a pitch twice, and he's walked. So Schreckengost, the cleanup hitter, has been a thorn in the Patriots' side tonight, and he's at second with 1 out after collecting his team's 6th hit of the evening. For Colton Yeager, 2 walks and a hit for him. 2 runs scored and an RBI. The final Peach Belt Conference score, that was almost over in Dahlonega. Augusta with a 2-1 lead over North Georgia in the bottom of the 9th. Two 2-0 on Yeager. The first extra base hit of the night for Lander. That double by Schreckengost. The Patriots, half of their 4 hits have been for extra bases, both of them triples, one by Gage Taylor, the other by Will Hardy. Both of them have come around to score. For the Patriots, 2 runs. Nick Pappas and Tristan Freeman with the Patriot RBI. 3-0 on Yeager. 0-4. Second walk issued by Link Powell since coming on in his inning and a third of relief. The 5th pitcher used by FMU this evening. Rory Glanton to the plate next. 1 for 3 plus a walk. 2 runs scored for the junior left fielder from Carrollton, Georgia. will play depth up the middle for Mackinson and Cunningham. They have turned 1-6-4-3 double play behind Patriots tonight. I was back in the fourth inning with Will Tax on the mound. Also a 1-6 line drive double play with Weston Rogers on the mound. Powell trying to hit the outside part of the plate, goes too far wide. Two and 0. Popped up. That one's going to get back over the press box, out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike. The pitch bounces away from Dalton Dabbs. Will roll toward the FMU dugout. Both runners will move up on a wild pitch. Issued by Link Powell. So Schreckengoss to third, Yeager to second, and 3-1 on Rory Glanton at the plate. There's another walk. Ball 4 loads the bases. So after the strikeout to start the inning, a double and 2 walks for Link Powell. And the Patriots will go back to the bullpen. And while they do so, we'll step aside here on the Patriot Sports Network. Junior right-hander Colby Lee takes over for the Patriots. 6'2", out of Latta, South Carolina. Spent 2 seasons at University of South Carolina. Also pitched here over the summer for the Florence Red Wolves, team that occupies this stadium in the summer months. Comes on with the bases loaded with Bearcats. 1 out in the top of the 7th in a 12-2 contest. Zach Moore at the plate for Lander. It is Schreckengost at third, Yeager at second, Glanton at first, and Colby Lee's first pitch is fouled back. 15 walks issued by FMU, a new school record tonight. Not the way they wanted to start this crucial 3-game home series in conference play. Lee's strike 1 pitch. Tipped into the mitt of Dalton Dabbs for strike 2 by Moore. 2 walks, 2 singles tonight for Moore. He has scored twice, driven in 3. The Lee trying to post the third straight 0 for FMU defensively, and he gets a called third on the outside corner. Good fastball there from Lee. Moore is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. 7th strikeout for Patriot pitching tonight. And now Carson Jones. 2 walks, a strikeout, and a flyout. He's 0 for 2 with a run scored. Lee fires. Swing and a miss. Lee on the season, an 8.53 ERA. His 7th appearance. He's made 1 start. Worked 6 1/3 innings, allowing 11 hits, 12 runs, although just 6 of those runs are earned. 11 strikeouts to 4 walks. He misses just low there. Opponents hitting .367 against him. Trying to get the Patriots out of this bases-loaded jam here on the top of the 7th and get to the stretch. Swing and a miss. So Lee is a strike away from escaping the bases-loaded jam that was created by Link Powell. A double and 2 walks. Just missed. Had a couple of Patriots taking a few steps toward the first base dugout, thinking it was inning over. Instead, it's ball 2 on Carson Jones. From the first base side, Lee deals. Popped him up. On the plate, Dalton Dabbs tosses the mask away and can't quite make the catch. It'll stay 2-2 on Carson Jones. Drilled into left field. Already racing over. It's going to end up in the Lander bullpen, where it is caught by one of the Bearcats warming up. So it remains 2-2 on Carson Jones. Bases loaded with Bearcats on a double and 2 walks in this inning as Lee misses low to run the count full. So with the count full and 2 outs, runners will be able to take off on the pitch here. Payoff on the way. Ground ball sharply past a diving Fred Wadsworth, and it'll get down into the left field corner. So get at least 2 runs in for Lander and make it 3. A bases clearing double by Carson Jones. And Lander ups its lead to 15-2. All 3 of those runs charged to Link Powell, who gives up his first runs of the season. And the inning continues for the center fielder, Josh Gregory, who had a sacrifice fly as a part of that second inning 8-run outburst and is 0 for 3 since. Strikeout, double play ball, and a flyout. Patriots have thrown more than 100 pitches more than Lander tonight. 95 pitches so far for Alex Moore through 6 innings, while the Patriots are nearing 200 as a staff. I don't know if I've seen that before. Outside on Gregory, 3 balls and a strike. Baseball is a game of statistical oddities. That is certainly one of them here in tonight's contest. Three balls and a strike on Gregory. Lee trying to slam the door on this 7th inning. And instead he'll issue a walk to Gregory. Bailey Connell to the plate. 0 for 2, but he's reached 3 times, twice after being hit by a pitch, once on a walk. 2 on with 2 down here for Lander. They've scored in only 3 innings to get their 15 runs, but have scored at least 3 in each of them. Nice breaking ball. Drops in there for a strike from Colby Lee. Lee, a former South Carolina Class A Player of the Year at Latta High School. He's also named Player of the Year by the Florence Morning News. Went 10-1 with a 1.02 ERA and 72 innings as a senior. But gives up his second hit of the inning here as that one's knocked into left field for an RBI. Base hit by Bailey Connell. Carson Jones touches home for the second time tonight. That's the third time that Lander has scored 4 or more in an inning, as they have put across 4 here in the 7th to go up 16-2. And pinch hitting for Lander is Ward Betts, a junior from Raleigh, North Carolina. So Vincent Madonna ends his night 0 for 2 with 3 walks, 1 RBI, 1 run scored. Betts hitting .222 in 21 games this season. He takes 1 low. Transfer from Spartanburg Methodist is Betts. He's got 2 on with 2 outs here in the Lander half of the 7th. They have 16 runs on 8 hits, 2 runs on 4 hits for the Patriots. No errors on either side to this point in the proceedings. There's a strike from Colby Lee. Betts draws a walk. Second of the inning for Lee. This will be the second inning tonight in which Lander has batted around Mike Fitzgin, designated hitter, climbs in. He is 0 for 4 plus a bases loaded walk in the second. He struck out each of his last 2 times up. The bases are loaded with 2 out here for Lander. Lee goes back to the wind now and hit Fitzgin to bring in another run. Two for the price of 1 there, as he also hit the home plate umpire, T.R. Sloan. (17-2) Lander now, as Nathan Schreckengost strides to the plate. He's reached each of his first 5 trips, 2 hits, 2 times hit, and a base on balls. 2 runs scored, make it 3 runs scored, and 2 runs batted in for the cleanup hitting first baseman. Now with 20 RBIs in the season to lead Lander. Lee's first. Strike. Third called strike on the outer edge. Schreckengost, the 11th batter of the inning for Lander. They sit 12 to the plate in the 8-run second. 5 runs across so far in this 7th inning. Caught on and missed. A 3-pitch strikeout for Colby Lee, his second strikeout of the inning. And Lander will leave the bases loaded. They do score 5, though, and now lead 17-2 as we stand up and stretch here on the Patriot Sports Network. Sophomore Carson Schlegel takes over on the mound for Lander in the bottom of the 7th inning. Be facing Cole Hinnett, Gage Taylor, and Nick Pappas. So the evening, I should say, is over for Alex Moore. Lander's senior right-hander who sets a new season high with 11 strikeouts. Get to his final end in a moment. Schlegel's first pitch of the inning is on the way to Hinnett. It's a strike. 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts for Moore as he is in line for his 4th victory of the season. Schlegel, a 6-foot sophomore out of Claremont, Florida. 3 relief appearances as a freshman a year ago. Worked 3 innings against Catawba on Tuesday, as this one will just get out of play, out of the reach of Schreckengost. A couple of defensive changes for Lander. Ward Betts, after pinch hitting on the top of this inning, takes over at short for Vincent Madonna, and Rory Glanson, the left fielder, is out of the game, replaced by freshman Drew Lucky out of Beaufort, South Carolina. Schlegel on 1.29 ERA in 4 appearances so far this year. Just misses outside, a ball and 2 strikes on Hinnett, who's 0 for 2 and been hit by a pitch. Hinnett takes a called third. He disagrees. He's rung up for the first down here in the bottom of the 7th. Schlegel has given up 1 run on 8 hits in his previous 7 innings, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. Brings up Gage Taylor, tripled and scored. The first Patriot run back in the first inning gave FMU a 1-0 lead, but it didn't last long as Lander responded with 8 in the second. First one, and therefore a strike on Taylor. He's reached all 3 times. In addition to the triple, he's reached on a fielder's choice and also been hit by a pitch. 1 for 2 officially. Strike 1 headed his way. Fouled back. Nick Pappas on deck for FMU has 1 of the 2 runs batted in, the other coming from freshman Tristan Freeman, who was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded back in the 5th. Pappas had the RBI single to bring home Taylor back in the 1st. Strike 2 to Taylor. Outside. Schlegel did not give up a run in his 3 innings against Catawba on Tuesday. Allowed 3 hits, struck out 4. This one's popped up. Left side, drifting out into shallow left field is the new shortstop Betts, and he makes the catch. Round number 2. Almost looked like it was going to get away from him for a moment there, but he made the play. That's now 6 in a row set down by Lander pitching. And with 2 out, the bases are clean for the first baseman, Nick Pappas. Pappas, an RBI single, a walk, and a pop-up so far today. 24 runs batted in now in the season. His first at Francis Marion. And he takes a called strike here. 0-1. Had a couple of terrific seasons at the College of Charleston. Native of Columbia. To bring the ball outside. Hit .337 as a sophomore with 12 homers and 57 RBIs. Second team All-Colonial Athletic Association honors that season. Cuts and misses that offering. He's also a Baseball America freshman All-America first teamer after his first season with the Cougars. He drives this one out into shallow left center. Over to make the catch, Gregory, and the Patriots go down in order for the second consecutive inning. After 7, they trail 17-2 on the Patriot Sports Network. Top of the 8th inning, Colby Lee back to work for Francis Marion, facing a pinch hitter, Jordan Gilbert, a redshirt freshman from Anderson, South Carolina, replacing Colton Yeager. One fouled away. 1 for 2 for Yeager before he was lifted. Walked his last 3 trips to the plate, scored 3 times, and drove in a run. Gilbert is 0 for 6. Make it 0 for 7 as Lee strikes him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lee going back to the last out of the 7th. 3 so far for the evening. The fans Gilbert to open the inning. One away. Lucky stands in. Drew Lucky coming in defensively in the bottom of the 7th inning for Rory Glanton, who finished up 1 for 3 with 2 walks and 3 runs scored. Flies this one into right field. Going back is Hinnant toward the warning track, and it pops off of his mitt as he slams into the wall. On his way to third is Lucky, and he will pull in there standing up with a leadoff triple. Hopefully Cole Hinnant is all right. 1-out triple. After banging into the wall there. So Lucky with a 1-out triple for hit number 9 of the evening for Lander. And now Zach Moore, the catcher. Moore struck out against Lee last inning. Bounces this one to short. Deep in the hole, Mackinson bobbled it for a moment. His throw in time. Gets a run in as Lucky scores. 4th RBI of the night for Moore, making it 18-2. Second out of the inning. And we get another pinch hitter here for Lander. Carson Jones will be replaced by Kyle Jenkins. Jones had a 3-run double in his last trip to the plate. His lone hit of the night, but he did walk a couple of times. Lee fires one in wide. There's a called strike. "18 runs and 9 hits for Lander, 2 runs on 4 hits for Francis Marion. Low on Jenkins. Jenkins went 4 for 9 against FMU in that series last year, including scoring 3 runs. Swings and misses to even the count here. Jenkins, a sophomore from Somerville. Leads 2-2. Count full. Payoff. Outside. And it's a pinch hit walk. Issued to Jenkins. We got another pinch hitter. Bo Ritchie, a sophomore from Westfield, Indiana. Pinch hitting here for Josh Gregory in the 8th inning. Gregory finishes up 0 for 3 plus a walk with a sac fly and a run. Ritchie fouls it to the screen. Ritchie 2 for 6. Both of his hits for extra bases this season, 1 double and 1 triple. He's also walked a couple of times. And takes a strike here. His other 4 at-bats all ended in strikeouts. So 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks for Ritchie this season. The 0-2 outside. Runner at first here with 2 out. 18-2 Lander in the 8th. Lee's 1-2 pitch. And for the second consecutive inning, he ends it with a strikeout. It's his 4th of the night. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Patriots down 18-2 on the Patriot Sports Network. Lenny Gonzalez will lead off for the Patriots here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Several changes being made by Lander. Most of the changes are players who just pinch hit staying in the game as Gonzalez takes a strike. Kyle Jenkins, after pinch hitting for Carson Jones, replaces him in right field as Gonzalez is hit by a pitch. 5th time a Patriot has been hit by a pitch tonight. 2nd time for Gonzalez. And now Dalton Dabbs will get his first at-bat. Bo Ritchie takes over in center field for Josh Gregory after pinch hitting for him. The new third baseman is Tim Kranz, a senior out of Babylon, New York. Dabbs came in for Tristan Freeman after Freeman was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded to drive in a run in for FMU in the 5th inning. Then came in defensively for him in the top of the 6th. Dabbs takes it upstairs. Reno now on Dabbs, who is 1 for 1 at the plate this season. A single and 2 walks in his 3 trips to the plate. Dalton, freshman out of Sumter. And he walks for the 3rd time this season. First 2 Patriots are on here in the 8th inning on a hit batter and a walk. Brings up C.J. Mackinson, 0 for 3 to this point in the evening. Nick Clary is the new pitcher, a redshirt freshman from North Augusta, South Carolina, for Lander. It's bounced foul by Mackinson. Clary, 3rd appearance of the season. Prior to tonight, a run allowed on 2 hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts in an inning and 2/3, a 5.40 ERA. Good stop there by the catcher. Atkinson smashes it down the right field line toward the FMU bullpen with well foul, unfortunately. Good swing. The Patriots shortstop. Gonzalez at second and Dabbs at first after a hit batter and a walk to start this bottom of the 8th inning. Larry steps off as time is called.
Yeah, it's for, yeah. County where
A little bit off the plate. Good eye there by Mackinson. Mackinson flies this one into left field, in a couple of steps and toward the line, settling under it, making the catch is Lucky. Mackinson is retired to begin the inning. With 2 on with 1 out for Cunningham. 0 for 3 against the starter Moore, who struck out a new season high 11 tonight in his 6 innings of work, in line for his 4th win. Cottingham takes a strike from Clary. That one almost got away from Moore, the catcher, but he was able to stay in front of it. Leary allowed a run in his inning of work on Tuesday against Catawba. Prior to that, his only other appearance came on March 13th against North Greenville. Here's his 2-1 to Cottingham. Drilled foul down the left field line, well out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another Peach Belt Conference action tonight. UNC Pembroke has put up 20 on Georgia College. They lead 20-5 in the ninth. Columbus State 13-3 lead over USC Aiken in the bottom of the 8th. And one final with Georgia knocks off Augusta 3-2, scoring 2 in the bottom of the 9th to come from behind and win that series opener. This one's bounced right back through the box into center field. A base hit for Grayson Cottingham. Gonzalez will score standing up. And Grayson Cottingham has his 13th RBI of the season. Pinch hitting for FMU will be Tanner Wakefield. So Fred Wadsworth ends his evening being replaced by the redshirt freshman Wakefield. Wakefield hitting .351. This is his 18th game. Takes this one outside here. Wakefield, redshirt freshman out of Gainesville, Georgia. Batting with 2 on and 1 out here on the bottom of the 8th inning. He bounces this one just foul down the left field line. Dabs at second, Cottingham at first for Francis Marion. Now with 5 hits, DeLander's 9. Another foul off the bat of Tanner Wakefield. Clary's 1-2 pitch. Track the breaking ball and let it go. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Tanner Wakefield. Same 2 tomorrow to continue the series at 2 o'clock. Have the broadcast for you here at 2 as well on the Patriot Sports Network. High and tight. Payoff on the way. Sharp ground ball to third. Grands down to second 1. Relay to first. Not in time. They get the fielder's choice. Force out on Grayson Cottingham at second base. Tabs moves up a station to third. And there's runners in the corners with 2 out for Hardy. Hardy has extended his hitting streak to 12 in a row with a 5th inning triple tonight. Came around to score after that triple. He's also drawn a walk, so 1 for 3 officially. He takes a called strike. Mentioned back earlier in the ball game that Hardy has been named the Peach Belt Conference's Freshman of the Week 2 weeks in a row. Foul tips this one right at the plate. Came into the day hitting .381 for the season. Just behind teammate Cole Hinnant in the Peach Belt's top 10. Skies this one out into shallow left. Shortstop Betts going out for it, makes the catch. And the Patriots will have to settle for one in the 8th inning. We go to the 9th, 18-3 on the Patriot Sports Network. We start the 9th with a pinch hitter for the Bearcats. Sophomore B.J. Bush out of West Columbia. Colby Lee back to work for FMU. Colby so far has worked an inning and 2/3, has struck out 4. Throws the fastball right by him. Ties the career high as a Patriot anyway for strikeouts with 4. This is upstairs. Push pinch hitting here for the leadoff hitter, Haley Connell. Reached 4 times. Twice he was hit by a pitch, 1 walk and 1 hit. 2-2. Betts, Fitzgin. The next 2 due up, although it looks like there is another pinch hitter awaiting in the Fitzgin spot. 2-2. Caught on a missed. Strikeout number 5 for Lee. Most he's had in the Patriot red, white, and blue now. 1 away in the top of the 9th. Brings up the shortstop, Betts. Walked his first trip. 22nd game he has seen action for the Bearcats, and Lee serves up another strike. To get to the bottom of the 9th, FMU will have Hinnant, Taylor, and Pappas, 2, 3, and 4 spots due up. Another swing and a miss. Oh, 2. Foul back. Stop there by Dabbs. 11 strikeouts now for FMU pitching, led by the 5 from Colby Lee, 1 each from Warren Specht and Link Powell, and 2 apiece for Weston Rogers and Will Tax. Fouled back by Betts, out of play. FMU had 15 strikeouts in the win over Claflin in the midweek, 1 shy of their season high as a staff. They struck out 16 Claflin Panthers when the two teams met here in Florence on the first weekend of the season as a part of the Pepsi Pop-Off series that also featured Southern Wesleyan. Fly ball, right side. Pappas, right on the edge of the line, makes the catch out in shallow right. 2 outs, and a pinch hitter, Peter Bacino. Senior from Saugus, Massachusetts, and a transfer from Bentley University, bats here for Mike Fitzgen in the 9th. Fitzgen ends up going 0 for 4, but got 2 RBIs without the benefit of a hit, 1 on a walk and 1 when he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Bacino almost was hit by the pitch there, as Colby Lee has an opportunity to set down the Bearcats in order here on the top of the 9th inning. Two zero.
I think it's ball.
3-0 now. On Bacino. Another pinch hitter lurking in the on-deck circle should the inning continue. Schreckengoss spot was due up. And Landon Dupert has picked up a bat and moved into the on-deck circle. And he will get a chance as Bacino draws a walk. 4 walks for Colby Lee and a 2-out base runner here in the 9th. Dupert takes low. Freshman out of Warrenville, South Carolina, attended South Aiken High School. 8 for 28 at the plate this season, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. 17th game that he has seen action. 286 hitter from the left side. Lee deals. Gets a strike. Swing and a miss. So Colby Lee a strike away from sending us to the bottom of the 9th. And pops out of the mitt of Dalton Dams, but the runner will stay at first. Full count. Runner can take off on the pitch here with 3-2 count and 2 down in the inning. Just outside, ball 4, and a pair of walks now with 2 out. Verlander in the 9th. Keeps it going for another pinch hitter, or rather the third baseman that came in after the most recent pinch hitter. Tim Kranz, senior from New York, came in defensively after Jordan Jubbert pinch hit the last time through the order for Lander. Ball and 2 strikes. The count on Kranz. 2 for 12 at the dish this season. This is his 9th game. He's 1-2. Bouncer to the right side on the charge. Grayson Cottingham. Toss to Pappas at first to retire the side, and Colby Lee strands a pair of 2-out walks. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Last chance for the Patriots coming up after this timeout on the Patriot Sports Network. Brian Kahn will pinch hit for the Patriots to start things off here in the bottom of the 9th against a new hurler for Lander, freshman Bryce Jackson out of Abbeville, South Carolina. Kahn batting in the Cole Hinnant spot in the Patriots lineup. Hinnant goes 0 for 3. Did reach once when he was hit by a pitch. 5 times the Patriots have been plunked tonight. Jackson making his 6th appearance out of the Lander pen. A 1-1 record, a 22.09 ERA as he fires in a strike to Kahn. FMU with another pinch hitter and Brett Kemp waiting on deck. Kahn takes one upstairs. Kahn is 2 for 8 this season at the plate. And he is a little bit late with that swing. Kahn from Durham, North Carolina. And he strikes out to begin the bottom of the 9th inning. Now freshman Brett Kemp. Pinch hitting here for Gage Taylor here in the bottom of the 9th. Kemp, 3 for 21 in this his freshman season out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Jackson fires in a strike. This one's drilled out into right field, back a few steps, and hauling it in just a couple strides in front of the warning track is Jenkins. Imp hit it well, but not quite well enough for his first collegiate long ball. 2 away for Nicky Winterstein. So Winterstein pinch hits for Pappas, who went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Jackson's first to Winterstein. Strike 1. If Winterstein is able to reach to keep this inning alive, Peyton Creech would pinch hit for Gonzalez. Jackson's 1-1. Now 2-1 on Winterstein. He a sophomore from Columbia. 2-2. Jackson deals. And it hit Winterstein on the foot. 6th time that a Patriot has reached tonight after getting hit by a pitch. So Peyton Creech will get to bat here in the 9th. Gonzalez went 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch twice. Creech, sophomore from Zebulon, North Carolina. Takes one in tight from Jackson. Fouls it away. Ground ball back up the middle. Ranging over the shortstop Betts. Throw to first is in time, and that is that for the Patriots in the 9th as they strand a 2-out base runner. And so Lander, who came in having lost 11 of 12, and takes the first game of this series in resounding fashion. 18 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Bearcats. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for FMU. So Lander improves to 10-18, 6-7 in the conference. FMU now 18-10, 9-7 in PPC play. Winning pitcher Alex Moore, he improves to 4-2. Evan Flynn takes the loss. He falls to 4-1. Next, Patriot Sports Network broadcast. We're right back here, Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium, for the second game of this series tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. We hope you join us then. Thanks for watching. Good night and go Pats.